Carnival Row is a new series from Amazon Prime. It's one of their Amazon Prime originals. It stars Orlando Bloom and Chloe Devangy. I can't say her name, you know what I mean. It's 8 episodes long. Each episode's about an hour or so, and it is set in a fantasy Victorian era. I don't even think it's explicitly said that it occurs in England. You've just got the Burge as the city / area that it occurs in, and that's fine. It's sort of a the town is a mix of Victorian London and New York, and you've got Orlando Bloom as a half fairy, half human police detective who is solving murders and crimes. It starts off with a Jack the Ripper type crime, and it's all these sort of gritty Victorian murders in Carnival Row area, which is a sort of prostitution and crime area. The setup is that there has been a war over the lands where the Fae, the sort of fairies and trolls and fantasy creatures live, and we've effectively kicked them out, and they've come to our lands as refugees and immigrants. There's lots of comparisons you can make to sort of Irish immigrants, people going to America. If you've watched the Warrior, the recent thing with from the Bruce Lee idea on telly, there's definite links to the Chinese in San Francisco as well, where the Fae aren't seen as full citizens with full rights, just like the Chinese weren't. And these are all these underlying sort of themes and messages throughout it. But beyond those messages and themes, it's just a really good, high quality show. Initially I'd seen people saying that it wasn't very interesting, it's a bit boring. I really enjoyed it. With the nights drawing in a bit, it's the kind of thing I sat down to watch on a late Sunday afternoon, put on like 4 o'clock, thinking I was just gonna have it on in the background and flick through on my iPad, while it was on. And I was actually found that I watched 2 or 3 hours at once straight away, because it was just interesting. And once it got you and you got your head around what the setup was, the acting's really good. The costumes and the setting are excellent. Don't really feel that any of the CGI feels televisual and a bit crap. It feels very cinematic. All the actors do great jobs. Orlando Bloom is really good in this. When he's not playing someone who's sort of light and airy, he actually plays quite a good sort of gritty character. You've just got to sort of put those other roles that he's done out of your mind. All the supporting cast is very, very strong. A lot of British actors that you will recognise, and there is a fair bit of, oh, who's that? What was he in? Who's that? Jared Harris is in this, who's one of my favourite sort of character actors. I really liked him in Fringe and The Terror and lots of other things that he's done. I think he's just, very, very good. And it's got an enjoyable story. You can follow it through. Each episode has got its own little sort of crime plots within it, but it's not procedural. And there is an overarching story involving politics and the way that the higher ups view people in Carnival Row, and the way that they're sort of manoeuvring for power and position on both ends of the spectrum. I think if you like sort of a more adult approach to these drama, and this is adult by the way, there's sex scenes and gore and violence and that, then this is something to certainly watch. I think it could get overlooked because of Netflix sort of powering through with other shows that it has and being a bit better advertised. I mean, there was a bit of publicity behind this, but I don't know, I just feel like it sort of got looked over. I didn't see it as an appointment viewing, and now I've watched it, I think, I'm looking forward a lot to the second series, and I think this is probably where Amazon Prime is going to start pulling ahead of Amazon, of Netflix even, where Netflix tends to have lost its stride a little bit, and Amazon's sort of slowly in the back burner pumping out these high quality shows, and I got a feeling they might start to edge ahead of Netflix in terms of the high quality of the shows they put out, and hopefully if they also support longer running series as well. But Carnival Row, I thought it was a really good watch, thoroughly well made and engrossing entertainment. If you've got your own views, stick a comment down, let me know. If there's anything you think I've missed, let me know. One thing I would say is I don't think it's based on any particular comic book or existing property. When I had a quick Google to find out, it said it was based on a film script, so I'm guessing it just got turned into a series, but beyond that there was no other property that it came from, which is nice nowadays. I think that it's wholly original. Feel free to like and subscribe if you like the video, and have a good day. Thanks for watching.